Hello, everyone. Hello. How you doing? Welcome. I know it's been it's been a minute, and it's been pretty sporadic, but I had to really think about what my goal is to achieve with this channel. And the name of the channel says what it is. And what I've discovered is the sixth sense. And the sixth sense is it's psychological. Um, I've taken notes this time because I want to really, I'm trying to, like I said, I'm trying to do something that has never been done before, to my knowledge. And I can clearly see this gift is to help people, obviously, that because billions do not know that this exists. But and this video is for the people that are probably in the narcissistic fog right now trying to get out. I'm talking to you guys. Something to help you keep pushing through to get to the other side, because I'm here to show you what was waiting for me, because I can only tell you my perspective. What was waiting for me on the other side of it? What was my reward for making it through this test, because it is a test. And it is what my narcissistic relationship was, my cocoon. And I was in a beautiful cocoon. It was Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and everything in it was absolutely beautiful. And the only thing in it was her. That was the horrible thing in it. You know, she was definitely a horrible person. But I remember I used to live in this townhouse with her, and every morning I used to go out back. Okay, and this is for people to really. I'm gonna try my best to describe the sixth sense to you. Okay, I used to sit out back, and I used to see butterflies. Every time I would go out back, I would start to see a lot of butterflies fly around me. I'm like, they just come out of nowhere, just like everywhere. I mean, beautiful butterflies. I like seeing stuff like that. Nature is just beautiful to watch, like every different colors and designs on them and stuff, right? And I used to always think to myself, is God sending me a message? Is he telling me something with all these butterflies? Is he, you just, I used to say these things to myself. And I realized that it was true. I was in a cocoon. I was a butterfly. I was turning into a butterfly in this cocoon. And it wasn't until I asked God to help me escape this horrible, horrible relationship. Horrible. To be in a relationship with a narcissist, the narcissist I was with, she was the top grade bad, very bad person, like scary bad. Okay. But God knew I would be able to push through and get out of it, because only the strong survive. But once I got out on the other side, now I'm here, which it took me asking God, letting go of everything. I mean, I was ready to let go of everything to escape. I didn't care what was left. I don't care. I didn't care if it was money, business, cars, whatever. I said, she can have it all. I just need to free myself. And it wasn't until then God got me out of that whole situation. I get to the other side, as I separate myself further and further from, now that I'm away from the narcissist, feelings start to go down. I start to see more and more the purpose of my relationship. That's the kind of trauma it took to awaken me to the sixth sense. Now, um, to know something that billions of people do not. Billions with a B. Billions. Okay. At first, it feels really kind of lonely because now it's almost like the Matrix movie. You hear people talking every day about their lives and what they're doing and what they're going to do. They don't realize they have no idea what they're talking about. They're just talking. But I also realize that that's how it's going to be for the rest of my life because that's how it works, right? But it's all a choice. But anyway, this gift, trying to remember my notes here, trying to think of how, okay, the narcissist was my cocoon and God helped me out. And then and only then God. Okay. So I figure like this, since God blessed me with such a gift, like the reward for getting through the narcissistic fog and abuse, which many do not make it. I want you guys to understand that many do not make it out ever. Some people die in it or leave this earth on their own by their own will. That's how bad it is if you let it get that bad, right? But the few that make it through, the reward for me is anything and everything I want. I can do anything now. I can be as wealthy as I wish. Everything just makes sense. Now you hear me say something like that and you think, well, how do you know all this, LJ? Is this true? Because if you put it this way, let me reverse, let me bring it back a little bit because I don't want to skip pieces. I'm trying to put this all together for you guys to understand. Now you hear a person like me saying these kind of things like, oh my God, you think it's psychological, and you're probably saying to yourself, but you can prove none of it. You're probably saying to yourself, you can prove none of this. The wonderful thing about the gift that God gave me, I have the gift to be able to prove it to you mathematically. Now, I should have had this ready, but hold on for a second. Okay. Now, there's only one way that I can show you guys that the psychological exists. Okay, and it does. It and it's 100%. It's 100% fact. And the part that will be difficult for most is that to choose to believe the math that is shown to you. Okay. Now, here's my gift to show you that the psychological exists. Okay. So there are billions of people around the world with car payments in almost every capitalist country. Okay. Capitalist country. Now, if you have a car payment, you don't know that money is an illusion for you. Now, this is me showing you the psychological, okay? Now, imagine, like, for now, this is 2024. Let's say the average car payment is $700, okay? Imagine you holding $100 in your hand, one hand, and then you open up the calculator app with the other. You put in 100 minus 700. Now listen closely, okay? According to the calculator, this is not in your hand. This is not in your hand. It doesn't, it's an illusion for you because you're making car payments. Do you understand? What you're actually holding, now keep looking at the calculator. What you're actually holding is six of these. You're holding 6 of these. You're looking at the calculator and you're saying to yourself, he's right. I know I'm right. That's why I'm sharing it with you. Now you're probably saying to yourself, I've never seen these before. I know that also, but they're just as real as the green ones. But there's no need to print these ones because you guys don't know money's an illusion for you. Now here's the part that I was telling you about earlier. Which one are you going to choose? The laws of mathematics that are never ever wrong. Nobody in the human world of humans existing in the entire world of millions of years have ever broken the laws of mathematics. Or are you going to believe that you have $100 in your hand? That's my gift. To show, the only way to show you that the psychological exists. So you're probably thinking, well, Linnell, what do you think your purpose is for now that you have this gift? To help. My main purpose right now, what I choose to use this gift for, is to help people out of the narcissistic fog that have been greatly abused. They're in it right now and they're just accepting it. They think, because the narcissistic fog will twist your brain thinking that, it's okay for people to hit you and talk about you and mess around on you and fool around on you in your face and not think it's a big deal. None of that's right. None of it. And the gift is this. When you come to this side, one second. The gift about the sixth sense is that I can see narcissists and they can't see me. And you probably think, well, LJ, how can you do that? Again, it's psychological. Narcissists have no self-reflection. They don't have no self-accountability, self-awareness. So they don't say things. They don't speak like people that do. Do you understand? So here's an example. If I did something wrong to a person, like put it this way, if I was in a relationship with a woman, I wouldn't have an affair on her. You understand? I wouldn't have a sexual relationship with another woman while I'm in a relationship because I'm fully aware that I'm in a relationship. I'm fully aware that I'm not going to hit the person that I'm in a relationship with. And the person I'm with, she doesn't have to make me aware that I don't hit. You're not supposed to hit the people you love. You see what I'm saying? But when you're in it, you start to believe it's normal. Oh, he or she didn't do it that much and this, and you're getting just totally sucked in, and then you're going to lose yourself. And then you'll never experience what I'm trying to show you now. So let me get back to the topic here because I don't want to lose what I'm trying to achieve because I've never done this before. This is brand new. There are no videos. There are no YouTube videos talking about the sixth sense and actually proving it. You guys got to remember, you come to this channel, you hear me talking about the sixth sense. You got to remember, I'm proving it. Now, if you choose to not to trust the mathematics, like the demo I showed you guys earlier, if you choose not to trust the mathematics of it, that's a choice that you're making. Do you understand that? If you see the earlier demo and you think it's dumb or whatever, but the math and the calculator and everything on the calculator matches up and you choose not to believe it, that's a choice that you are making. Do you understand that? What will it do for you making it on the other side? You get through all this horrible experience. Your self-esteem, if you are a person with self-esteem, that will be eliminated. there will be nobody on earth that will be able to affect you when they talk, if somebody speaks negatively of you. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter if anybody believes what I'm saying, and I'm proving it. Listen, and I'm proving it with mathematics. If a person doesn't believe what I'm saying, it doesn't matter. I trust math. And math, and nobody in the human history has ever broken the laws of mathematics. That's why nobody can bother me. Do you understand that? Nothing anybody says about what I'm saying doesn't matter because I can just open up the calculator and prove it. I remember as I was coming to this realization, something was pointing me to Einstein's equation, E equals mc squared. Now, at first, I used to say to myself, why do I keep getting pointed to this equation? I don't know. All these things start coming in my mind. I'm not smart like Einstein. Why am I looking at that? I'll never figure that out. Blah, blah, blah. Now I understand what the equation is. Now you probably looked at his E equals mc squared equation and think, oh my God, I got to be a brainiac to solve that equation or know what it means or whatever, right? You really don't. Even if you're not good at math, this is all you guys need to understand. This the equal sign in the E equals mc squared. That equal sign says whatever Mr. Einstein is saying in there is mathematical fact because the equal sign is in there. Do you understand that? To me, what that whole equation is, it's the mathematical equation to the sixth sense. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. And again, that's another one I can write out and prove it. I'm not just saying it. And anybody, any mathematicians, anybody, remember what I'm saying. I'm not just saying it. I can write it out on a board and show it to you. Do you understand? This is what the sixth sense does. Now, it takes time to getting used to it. Now, when I look at movies like The Matrix, the first one in 1999, Limitless, movies like that, they come pretty close. They do come close. But they like the movie Limitless, it makes it seem like it's a special pill that's going to do something that's going to do something, right? But when you don't understand, this is how you got to look at stuff like that. Think of that movie when in Limitless where it's NZT or whatever that is, or any kind of drug. It really doesn't matter. These mind altering drugs, right? Illegal, legal, whatever, right? The pill is not, it's not creating brain matter. It's not, the pill doesn't make brain pieces in your brain. It goes to part of your brain that you can't reach normally, that this pill opens up to reach to a part that already exists. Do you understand that? It's already there. You just don't know how to get there without the pill. It's not making something happen. It's opening something that's already there. You just can't get to it. That's why I'm here today, because I've never been here before. But I got here naturally. Now, once I got here, I realized that there's very few people I can talk to now. Everything is about perspectives. And every single person on earth has their own. Do you guys understand what that means? There are very few people on earth that have the same perspective as I. So what I've had to do is learn to adjust myself to everybody else's perspective. I had to adjust that because now when I hear people speak, especially when they speak about money and finances and investing, millions of people have no idea what they're talking about. None, zero, and they don't know. How do you deal with that? Well, people that are not related to me, that's pretty easy. I just stay away from them. But when it's family, because sixth sense is more than just money, it's everything. It's your life, it's my life, it's my social life, it's how I look at women, how they look at dating, everything, it's everything. I'm 54 today, and I just discovered this at 54. Now, to find a woman that understands what I'm talking about, because at this age, she already has to be here. Do you understand me? What does be here? First, you have to have owned yourself, meaning you can't be in debt at all. None, zero, no debt. And you have to prove it with you can't just say it. You have to show, she would have to show me her personal credit report to prove it to me, because that's the only proof you can prove. And then after that part, you got to get through the psychological part. Everything in here, inside, all of this stuff in here that you need to resolve personally, all of that has to be resolved, because here, where I'm at today, I have absolutely no problems, no debt, everything is positive, no issues at all, nothing. No stress of any kind. I'm at a place that people do not believe it exists. That's where I'm at. The only reason why I got here is because I was awakened by the narcissistic relationship which I was in, which was really, really horrifically horrible, which awakened me. Now I'm thankful for it, because it took something that I don't really know how to explain it. People that are in narcissistic relationships right now, or even have gotten through them, they know what I'm talking about. If you come out on the other side like this, because now I understand that when I was in the relationship, this is after the fact, I was feeding the narcissist my energy. When you're in it, it feels like the narcissist is sucking all your energy, which they are. They are. But you got to remember that it now becomes a need for them. Just like you need them psychologically, like they trained you to do it, they also need your energy too. They just don't realize that until you cut them off. And that's what I did with the one I was with. I cut her off. For those of you that have never done it, she responded in a way, let me tell you guys, okay? You guys need to understand this. She responded in a way that I had never seen in the entire relationship. Do you understand me? Shocked me. This woman I was with, she was absolutely horrible, physically abusive, verbally, whatever, right? When I cut the energy off, just like God said, you gave it to me, get out the way. That means cut everything off. That's what that means, right? So nothing of any kind, all energy, no looking at pictures, no nothing. She packed my things, wrote on, hey, this is your documents, this is that, put it neatly in my truck because my truck was still there, blah, blah, blah. I was blown away. I didn't expect any of that. I was like, what? Shortly after I got back all my stuff and everything handled, she went right back to the way she was before. Yes. Because as a person that thinks normally, you see somebody respond like that, you think, whoa, maybe they woke up. No, she was just that was a narcissistic injury. I later learned that was just a narcissistic injury. It's a temporary window where they don't understand because you cut them off of the energy because she was begging for it. You guys understand that? She was begging like a fiend to talk to me. No different than drugs, no different. She was begging, crying messages, blowing me away. I was like, what? None of it made any sense. At the time, it didn't make any sense. Okay. It made no sense to me at the time. I was like, why is she crying now? Why did that? That's all part of the thing they do. What it really is, they want to get you back, and then they want to destroy you for making them hurt or whatever. However, their brain thinks. That's why they don't really want you back. They want to do the destroying or whatever that is, whatever. So now she has to live the rest of her life knowing that I left her. She has to know that for the rest of her life. Whatever man she's with, whatever, forever. The one that got away and thrived and positive and thankful for the relationship. I'm thankful for it. Who knows when I would have discovered the sixth sense had I not gone through it? What's up, Owen, Malika? When I look at normally, and I'm not, oh, I guess I can't say normally, but I could see how easily narcissists can get a hold of a person with low self-esteem and just take over their lives, right? Because I figure like this, if I was a person, I see how it affected me, and I was a person with I didn't have low self-esteem when I met her. I didn't have any problems, I was never like that. So I can only imagine what a narcissistic person would do with a person with low self-esteem, because now today I can see narcissists a mile away. They're really all you got to do is just listen to them speak. Like I was stating earlier, all you have to do is listen to the way they talk. Do they ever apologize? Are they ever responsible for anything? They don't know that it's not normal to do like that. Now, here's another thing. This is really important. I remember when I was in debt. Okay, I was a debt slave at a particular time before I woke up, right? And every now and then, I would run into a person that was really an a-hole about their time. Okay. Now that I know time in my life right now, time is this is number one, is time. Okay. Now I understand why they were like that. Because when when I pay, all I do is pay attention to how people treat their own time in their lives. Are they always late? Are they always thinking it's not a big deal to be late? Do they think it's not a big deal to waste your time? Say they're going to be somewhere at a certain time and then they don't show up. Do they think it's cool or think it's no, oh, and laugh it off? They don't, people that do that, they don't know that they are telling me about how they treat their time. People like me, we don't allow people that don't care about the time in their lives to infringe on our time. That's why it seems like we're assholes when we say things like that. It's more of like to let you know that you're not going to do that with our time, because when you are now that I value time, it just goes hand in hand with the sixth sense, because I know I know now when I drive down the street and I see graveyards, those are people that were here before me. Those people ran out of their time, however it happened. Their time is ran out. Eventually, my time's going to run out. Do you guys it's weird how I don't really pay attention to it as I'm driving, listening to music, seeing graveyard. All those people were here before me. 99% of them. Okay, let's say 99% because things happen. But I'm saying the natural process, okay, the natural process, all those people were here before me. What did they do with their time? What are you doing with your time? If you've never asked yourself that question, you've probably totally forgotten that your time is limited here on earth. Sorry. Just like many people do. I did. I totally forgot about that. Totally forgot that I'm not going to I totally forgot that all humans die for some odd reason. You know why? I was just caught up in debt and bills and problems and relationship problems. None of that is in my life anymore because I don't allow it. That's the gift of the sixth sense. You don't have to allow it, and you don't care how people feel about it either. I don't. It doesn't matter. What am I going to do with this? Well, I know for a fact that I'm going to be helping people for sure. That's a fact. Helping people do what? I can help people discover the sixth sense. I have the ability to do that. And the only reason why I have the ability to do that because I've done it and I'm here talking to you right now on the microphone. You will have to have a strong mind to accept what is, and then you will have to learn to you will understand that there are millions of perspectives on everything, words, people. From I mean, every person has their own perspective. That's why there's billions of them, right? But each person has their own perspective on everything: cars, words, the economy, Republicans, everything. You will have to accept that, and then anybody you speak to, you will have to learn how to listen to them speak. Listening is listening is going to be very, very important. No matter what they say, how they say it, what they believe, you must listen to them, and then you can determine if you want to uh, conversate with them at their perspective, or you can just leave it alone, or they can not be your friends or whatever. But in order to be able to keep your own sanity, to keep your own friends, and especially with family, because it doesn't matter. It's everybody, and it's really hard when it's your family. When you see them doing things that you know they're probably never gonna understand that the sixth sense exists, and that's something that you're gonna have to accept, and then you're gonna have to learn how to um, adapt to it. Because I'm still learning that right now with my mother, my sister. Because you can't just tell people, "Hey, look, the sixth sense exists." They don't know any of that. So this channel and beginning these videos like this is going to help me. You guys will actually see the progression in this gift because I'm at the very beginning of it. So, and I don't know, the psychological has no limits. So, you know, I guess you could take your own guess there where I'm at. Not saying that where I'm at today was easy to achieve, because it absolutely was not, because I didn't even know what I'm telling you right now existed when I first started my journey. I didn't know I was going to come reach to this particular mathematical fact. It the beautiful thing about it, like this, like say like you are, the younger the better though. But if say like you're in your 20s or just, it doesn't even matter. Say like you're out in the dating world, okay? And I'm gonna use myself as the example. Now that I've discovered the sixth sense, the dating world is very different for me now. Okay, there's not, I wouldn't see a woman and think she's too beautiful for me. It wouldn't matter what kind of career she had. It wouldn't care. I wouldn't care what she looks like. It doesn't. The only thing I need to know first is she in debt. She will tell me that because that's what you people do when they're in debt. You guys like to tell everybody where you work, what you have, what you bought, or whatever, right? And you financed it all, mortgages, car notes, and stuff like that, because you believe that you can buy cars with car loans. You believe you can buy houses with mortgages when none of that is mathematically true. You can't do that. I know with the sixth sense, I know it only takes one day to buy a house, just one single day. I know the sale price of any house only applies to people like me, cash buyers, only me, and people like me. If you believe, which millions of people in America do, believe they can buy a house with a mortgage, that means you don't know. That's all that means. It don't even mean, listen, it doesn't even mean you're a bad person or a dumb person or not smart person or whatever you might think as you're listening to me. You just don't trust the calculator. It really is that simple. All you got to do is this. If you believe you bought a house with a mortgage, open up the calculator, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance and hit equal. You see that large negative number? You didn't buy anything. You know how Einstein says if you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you don't know it yourself? Okay? So you take the calculator, you put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance and hit equal, and you'll see a large negative number. You take that to a 6-year-old and you say, "Hey, son, daughter, honey, whatever," right? And say, "What kind of house can I buy a house with that much money?" And the 6-year-old is going to look at this large negative number and they're going to tell you no. And then you got to ask yourself then you got to stand up, look in the mirror and say, why do I think I bought the house that I'm living in when my 6-year-old just clearly told me that they can't? Now you're probably saying, he's right. What? That's called a glitch in the debt matrix. That's what that's called. And like I was stating earlier, if you've been a person with low self-esteem all your life, that changes forever. That goes away. That never comes back ever. Worried about If you've been a person worried about what people think, that goes away. That's gone. You be yourself. You be whoever. Listen, if whoever you are doesn't infringe on anybody else's space and stuff, it doesn't matter, and it doesn't break any laws or anything like that. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks. I don't care what anybody thinks. You guys understand what I'm saying? Nobody. I don't care what nobody thinks. I can be on stage in front of 1,000 people or 1,000,000 people. It doesn't matter to me. because I understand that I know something that billions of people do not. It's really that simple. Now, even you know how long it took me to even coming in to come into uh, the acceptance of such a statement. First, you think, all these things come in my head. Oh, what are people going to think? Oh, they're going to think you're full of crap. And this, I'm like, well, no, I can prove everything I'm saying. That's the beautiful thing about my gift compared to other people with gifts. I've never seen a person like, say, like you see, okay, like Michael Jordan, right? He was clearly gifted. That's a gift. I mean, of course he practiced and did stuff, but it's a gift. Can he show you how he has this gift? No, he can't. He can't show you. He can show you what he can do with the gift, but he can't show you it. That's the difference with my gift. I can show you it. I can speak it. Here, let me give an example of uh, the psychological sixth sense language. Okay. Um, no one, no, put it this way: you cannot save for retirement while having a mortgage. You can't do that. Now, you're probably thinking, well, what does that mean? Okay, I'm going to explain it to you. I've just stated a mathematical fact that millions, obviously, millions of people do not know. Because all those people with mortgages that believe they're saving for retirement, they don't know that they're not. They don't know that they cannot do that. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying those are the people on the negative side of the economy. I help people come to the positive side and sell real estate to all the people that believe they can buy it with mortgages. That's what you do. And then you make money and be rich. You come to the positive side. I understand that taxes are my friend. They're not bad and evil. And like everybody says, they're only bad and evil when you're in debt. That's what that means. So now when I walk around in public, when I turn on the news, when I hear people complaining about taxes, I immediately understand that they don't know, they don't understand how they work by the very fact that they're complaining about them. Do you understand? That's the psychological part. They don't, people that complain about taxes, they don't know they're doing it because they don't understand them. They don't know that they're doing it because they're in debt. That's why they're doing it. You don't, I can't, I can't turn to a person and say, why are you living in the United States of America? Do you know the taxes are the law? Yeah, then why are you complaining? What are you going to do about it? Nothing. You can't do anything. Well, you can. You can take the time to understand them or you can leave and find a country that's just like America, but is tax friendly or something, whatever you're thinking in your brain, whatever. It doesn't matter. It really does. It doesn't matter. Taxes are the law. Do you understand that? Complaining about them doesn't change that. So if you're one of those people that do that, you got to ask yourself, what is complaining about taxes doing for my life? Nothing. What do I do when I hear people complain about taxes? I don't say anything. Why? Because that's how it will always be. The majority will always complain about taxes. So now I have to learn to adjust. Do those people have to be in my lives? Absolutely not. If it's family doing it, you know what I say? Don't talk about that stuff around me. Oh, Linnell, you're an asshole. Whatever. Now I don't say those things, but I say it. Hey, I just get up and walk away, go to another room or something. because I have to live with that now. But I can minimize it. Go out on. I save my. Put it this way. I save myself. Like say like you're when you get to know somebody, the first thing you're doing is you got to speak to them on the phone. If you know what to listen for, a person will tell a lot about themselves in just the first couple of conversations. You'll know right away. As far as the sixth sense go, they don't know that. The women don't know what they're saying to me. And I guarantee you this, I guarantee you, and I've already experienced it already. The majority of women I talk to since knowing this, they know I'm different because I say things that no other, I'm sure no other man says. Asking different kind of questions. You know, how many men ask a woman, "Hey, are you in debt?" I guarantee that question is never said, never asked. That's a question I would ask. Are you in well, I wouldn't even have to ask that question because I would know what questions to ask for a person to tell me that. Are you a homeowner? Yeah. I'll say something like, did you get a awesome percentage rate? And if she says yes, that means she has a mortgage. That's what that means. Because if I said that to a person that knows the only way to buy a house is in cash, and I asked them, "Hey, did you get an awesome percentage rate?" They would say, "Percentage rate? No, I bought my house in cash." Then that would get my attention. If a woman said that to me "Oh no, I bought my house in cash," now she has my attention. Do you understand? Because I know what it takes to own a house. That's something that millions of people don't know. They don't know what it takes to own a house. They all think they own one with a mortgage. That's just step one. You got my attention. Okay, how'd you get it? Did somebody give it to you? Did you buy it yourself or whatever? You know, those are just same questions. Will it be very, do I think it's going to be very rare for me to find a woman that's going to be where I'm at? Yeah, but I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. A lot of people can't be alone, but once I found the sixth sense, I enjoy my own company. For me, it's been nothing but, I mean, just blessing after blessing after blessing after blessing after blessing after leaving the narcissist, man. It's been absolutely beautiful. People can see it, people can feel it every time I walk into a room. It's just, it's weird, man. I can't really explain that part, but it's like when I walk into a room now, people just on me for some odd reason. Just all, hey, who's he? What does he do? It's like I'm not into other people's business like that. I can see somebody walk in a room. I don't really need to know all that information. But I'm learning to accept to understanding why that is. I do know now why, because now I vibrate at a different level, give that which gives off a different type of energy. Because here's another thing. When I was in debt, I thought stress was part of life. Everybody believes that. You can ask anybody, "Hey, how's you doing?" "Oh man, I'm stressed." Whatever. Once I got out of debt, I realized stress was not part of life at all. So I have no stress. And which in turn, what that does, it's been better for my skin. Uh, when I tell people I'm 54, they probably believe me now because I got a big gray beard, but they just, "Oh, you look good for your age and look at your skin." Because I have no stress and no problems or nothing. I don't have stress for problems from other people. You know how, like, this is what the one thing I had to deal with in my family. I had a couple things that I needed to take care of with a couple family members. Instead of going through years and years of avoiding the problem or something that's going on in the family, which many families do, I go straight to it. And this is the purpose of it. Now that I understand that every single person has their own perspective about every single situation. So I always put this in my mind. They may not know why there's an issue, or even no matter how you probably think in your mind, how could they not know? This is so obvious. That's the one thing you got to take out of your brain to eliminate that problem. The only thing you can do is come straight at them, tell them exactly what it is or what blah blah blah, and you tell them how it's affecting you or whatever, right? This is for you. Their response to it, if they turn to it and respond positively, that would be awesome. Okay, that would be great. But if they respond negatively or pretend like they don't know what they're talking about, their response to you telling them is irrelevant. It's for you to walk away knowing that it's no longer a guess anymore. They know for a fact what it is. And if they continue to do whatever it is that they're doing it with knowledge and purpose. Now you can cut them off with a clear conscience, because you're not walking away from them thinking that they don't know what they're talking about or doing or whatever. They do know because you told them. That's what I'm doing with family members. It's called boundaries. Those are very, very important. It doesn't matter how people feel about your boundaries. And this is the reason why I'm doing boundaries, because I learned boundaries. That's the one thing I wasn't doing with the narcissist. I was not setting any boundaries. And the few little flimsy boundaries that I did set, I never kept them up. She always ran all over my boundaries, my little boundaries that I tried to put up. Once I put up the main boundary of cutting that narcissist off, boundaries are no longer difficult for me. I make sure the person understands that I am purposely putting up a boundary and I'm purposely keeping it. So you guys understand that the person understands that that's a boundary that's not going to change because it's affecting me. It could affect me if I don't put up a boundary, which I don't allow things outside of me to affect me. That's what the gift does. It doesn't care how a person feels if you put up a boundary. It doesn't care about how they feel about the boundary. That's irrelevant. I'm hoping to meet people that have also discovered it as this channel grows. I want to know. It'd be nice to know where I'm at, if I'm talking right, because you guys I don't even know if I'm speaking right. I could be saying wrong things, but I know it exists because I can prove it. Hopefully I can right now I can tell I'm speaking to the people that are in it, because that is a bad place to be, in a place that you don't know that you're in it, like that, like me. But I think now, when I think, because I can think back at my situations without involving my feelings now, and how would I help a person like me in the narcissistic fog that don't know that they are there? So knowing that mine was physically abusive, I would say to myself, someone telling you that they love you that's physically abusive is not love. A person that loves you doesn't physically abuse you, and they know that. So if the person is doing it to you, they obviously don't know that. When I look back at the narcissist now that I was with, obviously she's been in many physically abusive relationships, many. because you could just tell by the way she was doing it. She was just so free with it. You could clearly see I wasn't the first. That was very obvious. But just the whole situation, and I think about it, I was so it literally like brainwashes you. It does, because you start to think it's I was starting to be in acceptance of it. It's the weirdest thing to say. Like, if she would do if she would do something horrible to me, right? And then all of a sudden we got on good terms, shortly thereafter, she would totally just ignore the cause of what happened. Like, if we went back, and I was to a point to where, oh, I don't want to bring it up because she's going to get mad. That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't. Now where it doesn't go to nice if this is not resolved. This has to be resolved first. Do you understand? It's crazy to think about and she was just getting worse. And I could see why she was getting worse, because I was cool and just letting her do I was letting her do whatever she wanted to do, and with no consequence. Of course, a person that's doing something like that is not getting any consequences. Of course, they're going to keep on doing it. It's just wild. But I do the only reason why I think back on it now is so I can help other people that are in it, and I try to think back at the experiences, the situations. Like, I think, like, this one time we were talking, and she was just irritating me. I finally, instead of just sitting there not making any faces, I finally started making faces like she got to all the time. And she just went pow, slap me across the face. Now, I never had a woman in my life slap me in my face. I didn't expect that, right? Shocked the shit out of me. So I said, I thought to now I think about that situation. Now go back to that situation. What would I do different now today? What would I do different? And she slapped me. I think if I would stop, I would just completely stop. I wouldn't slap her back because I wouldn't want to go to jail. First, I would go and check to see if I have a mark on my face. Because if I don't have a mark and call the police, they're not going to do anything, right? So if I had a mark on my face after she slapped me, I would have called the police on her so she would get in trouble. Because I figure like this: if she was comfortable enough to slap me across my face like that, that means she's done it before to other men. So somebody has to put a stop to it. Somebody has to say no. Somebody has to say, you're going to go to jail. Maybe the experience of jail will help her not do that, because somebody's going to hurt her if she's going to slap the wrong dude, and he's going to be comfortable with slapping women back, or maybe punching them in their face. Who knows? I don't know. That's what I would do. I would have called the police on her. Because at first, back then, I'm thinking, what about, because she had a young son. So this is what I was thinking. If I call the police, I was thinking about her son. She's going to go to jail. He's going to think this and that. And I thought to myself, I think about it today. I think about it now. If she slapped me, that means she wasn't thinking about her son. That's how you got to look at it. She wasn't thinking about him at all. She wasn't thinking about, if I slap Linnell, I could possibly go to jail, and my son he's not going to have nobody to watch him or whatever. Who knows? That's how you got to think about it. You can't, if you're in a relationship like that, you cannot think about the consequences when the person doing the abuse is not thinking about the consequences. You are in a situation that is very horrible for you if you do that. A narcissist doesn't have foresight. They don't think about consequences. They don't know that they exist or whatever. And you got to understand that. Why? You got to always understand the obvious. If they're slapping you, which is against the law, they obviously don't know that there's consequences. Or maybe they haven't had enough consequences. Who knows? It is for yourself And for society, you must do that to say you can't do that. That's what I would do today. So, and forever, that would be a mark on a record. And, this is what you got to do. You have to, when narcissists who are physically abusive, you have to get them stamped. Do you understand me? By calling the police, this person hit me, abused me, stamped. Now they're stamped as an abuser. So the next person, you got to remember, as they get older, they don't realize people that the narcissists, when they're young, they don't really understand how it's going to affect them as they get older. They don't understand it. But you stamp them when they're young. Soon as they start that, call the police, stamped. And then as they continue, they're going to continue to get stamps. But they don't realize they're getting older as they get older. As people get older, they start to get wiser. Hey, before I get in a relationship, I got to run a background check on you. Make sure you say who you are, who you say you are. That's what I would do. I wouldn't take nobody's word for it. I mean, you got to show me some. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. I ain't got no problem with that. You got to stamp them narcissists. You have to. And hopefully one day they'll learn a lesson. Hey, when they figure out when they get older, can't get a job, somebody that's serious, because I would not take a person serious that's stamped like that through their whole entire lives. Not me. You don't know if they learned their lesson or not. Who knows? That's not your problem. But it'll give you a leg up to understanding to do background checks on people. You have to do that. You can't just take the word for it. You can't. But if you understand, put it this way. If you understand the sixth sense and it's psychological, I can just talk to a person and know because they don't know that the psychological exists. So they're going to speak a certain way that they don't know that they're speaking. What do I mean? Millions of people believe they're cash flowing on mortgage rental properties. Millions. They say it in videos. Hey, you can cash flow a mortgage rental. They don't know what they're saying is mathematically not true. You can't do that. That's an example. That's an example of the psychological. But if they did know that, that would be a problem for the economy. They can't know that. If millions of people knew you couldn't buy a house with a mortgage, the housing market wouldn't exist. So they can't know. See how it works? That's how it works. It's a language now. Your life will be so, man, listen. If you are a person that's walking around here believing that stress and problems are normal and it's just a way of life, I'm here to tell you that that's not true. That's a that's only one perspective of life and there's millions of them. When you're in it, you don't realize that you are in one perspective of life, just one. You just got to get out of it. There's a perspective which I live in that has no problems, no stress, no anything, nothing. Just beautiful, positive, lovely life. It does exist. I'm telling you about it right now and I'm proving it to you. I'm doing something that has never been done to my knowledge, never. It's beautiful. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love learning more and more every day. Everything is obvious. It's weird how it just comes. Everything just comes into focus like it was always there. It comes in slow though. Thank God it comes in slow. Because if it comes in too fast and your brain is not strong enough to handle it, that might be a problem. I look at people different now. I like, somebody's quick to call somebody crazy. No, I listen first. What First I say, why are you calling them crazy? Oh, they do this. I just listen to the person that they're calling crazy. See what crazy talk sounds like. Now, I bet you it's not crazy. Young people go into restaurants, go into a Denny's or a fast food place, and then they see a 75-year-old person serving at Chick-fil-A. Do you think that person, when they were your age, that they were going to be working at a fast food restaurant at 70s? No, they didn't. But the young person doesn't know to look at the old person like that. They don't know, say, hey, wait a minute, why are they here? Was that their dream to work at Chick-fil-A in their 70s? Absolutely not. Nobody has those dreams. Why? Because they didn't know their entire lives. That's why. Because if they did, they wouldn't be working there at that age. I hear people all the time saying, hey, yeah, I worked for 30 years, retired, got a side job so I won't be bored. You got a job so you won't be bored? What about enjoying your life? They don't know anything else. They've been working 30 years. It's psychological. It's not bad. It's not good. I'm not talking about them. I'm just telling you what is. What's up, F. McKeon? I hope I said that right. McKeown. I'm sure that I'm sure I'm butchering. I apologize for that too. Tamara says it really hurts when you have kids by them. The covert narcissist I was married to was murdered on Oof, yeah. Thank God I didn't have kids by the narcissist I was with. I really do. I'm really thankful for that, because I would have been in some trouble. I really would have been in some trouble. I would have been in court, all that kind of that stuff. That's horrible. What's up, Robert? Robert says, I learned that they have a pattern and they always destroy themselves first, then move on to the next person. Yeah, I've noticed, like, and I, of course, this is a little bit of research, but I've noticed that they can't really hold. Well, first you got to know that they exist. Okay, first you got to know that narcissists exist. But I understand that they can't really hold their mask too long. So if you kick it with a narcissist, just hang around with them for 6 months. Don't get too close. They probably won't be able to hold their mask on for at least 6 months. I give that. If they haven't, you got to remember they have a purpose that they're trying to penetrate to get access to your energy, whatever their purpose is. But if you keep them at bay for like 6 months, they're going to move on, because you got to remember, it's not just if a narcissist is on you, it's not just you. So don't feel special if a narcissist is trying to love bomb you. They're doing that to every person. They're just waiting. It's like fishing. They're going to see which one bites, and then they're just going to go that way and just come back to you guys later if you're still there. But if you keep one at bay for like 6 months, they're going to fall off because they won't be able to hang on. They're like, oh, there's easier prey or easier fish. And you just remember that. It's not really that difficult. That's why now I don't really, it could be anybody now. I just take the time to get to know people now. I just let them see, because when they meet me, they don't really understand that they're meeting me. I'm not going to change 6 months, a year, 2 years. It's going to be me, right? But if you're pretending, you're going to change, because you're pretending for a reason. You have a goal to do something because you're pretending. So that's how I look at it. The aging narcissist. Oh, they're really nasty. See, I've watched videos about the aging narcissist, and this is my opinion on that. As a narcissist gets older, say like they have children, right? And they and I feel bad for kids or adults now that were raised by narcissistic parents. I really feel for you guys, because that's got to be the being in a relationship as a grown up, an adult with a narcissist. I had at least the ability to say, I'm leaving. I'll make it on my own. But as a child, I can imagine as they get older, because I do notice that the narcissistic parents never remember what they did to their children, which probably makes their children even more angry because they pretend not to remember. And then they wonder why the kids are distancing from them. Then they move from that to a guilt. Oh, you would do this to your mom and dad and this and that. Thank God I didn't have a narcissistic parents. I didn't at all. I didn't. I mean, at least my mom. I was just raised by my mom, but I had nothing but love in my household, so I didn't experience that. But I'm assuming children are going to get their revenge on their parents as they age, especially as an aging parent that hasn't changed or hasn't learned that they're a narcissist. I wouldn't know what I would love to hear from an adult that might. I don't know. I would love to hear what do you do? Do you still have a relationship with them when they pretend like they don't know what they did? Me personally, I never had it, so I don't know. But I'm just saying how I would be today. I don't care who it is. If I discover a person is a narcissist, they're immediately set in a particular area in my brain. You understand? The person who's the narcissist, they are going to know that I know that they are a narcissist. They're going to know the way my energy is towards them. They're going to know how I speak to them. They're going to know that they're not going to be able to say, they're going to notice all the boundaries if they try to do something, because they test. That's what their job is. That's what they do, to test, to try to get in, to do whatever they're trying to do. But every time they come to me, they're going to notice a boundary. And they're going to know that I put it there. I'm not going to pretend like I don't know it's there. I'm going to put it there. I'm going to say, hey, no, you're not going to do that to me. What do you mean? I know you're going to act like you don't know what I mean, but I'm just telling you, you're not. That's what I would say. Narcissists, I believe they can feel me now when I walk into a room. They look at me a certain way. I'm like, why is this person looking at me? I don't even know them. Oh, they must can feel me. Because I don't know if a person's a narcissist until they speak. They have to speak first. And they got to, maybe they're talking to me. Maybe this in a conversation. I don't know. But I just need to hear them talk. Then I'll usually know pretty quickly. But the aging narcissist, I think that's when they're going to get their payback, when they get older. When they find that they have nobody around them because they've abused everybody in their lives, which they do, they abuse everybody. They abuse everybody. Mm. And when they get older, they're going to find nobody wants to be around them, not even their own children. And then the only person they can be narcissistic towards are themselves. Is themselves, or is themselves. I think the majority of narcissists, they're going towards the end of their lives, they're going to be really lonely. Years of abusing people they love, even their own children. And then they get around 60, 50, 60, never taking care of themselves, bad health. And then they're going to start looking, oh, honey, don't you love me? This and that. No, no. You don't get to do that now. Are you crazy? What's up, Robert?
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
What's going on?
Oh no, I was gonna say, yeah, your last video you did when you was like the reason why can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, the reason why, the reason why you get it, like, it's something, the point that you made about because they work together for so long that they get attracted to each other and start having
Oh, you're talking
affairs.
about people at work.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was but the narcissist. Yeah, at my job, it's like I can see them more clearly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And and one of my coworkers, what he did was he's married, and I gave him a ride home because he didn't have a car.
Mm,
Because he was telling me that he used to he cheated on his wife a few times, and
mm,
she'll never leave him because
mm,
she's sick.
mm, mm. He's
She'll
telling
like,
you that, and he's telling you this.
He told
Mm.
me directly, like on the way driving him home,
Now, let me ask you something, Robert. How did a conversation like that come up? How did that come up?
because we was talking about where he was, because where he had where he's getting garnished because his car was repossessed,
Mm-hmm.
and he got tired of like being the only breadwinner in the house working.
Mm-hmm.
So he was saying like he was making $700 a month in car payments, and he was like, I'm doing everything by myself, and he's like his wife can't do anything, she can't like get a job or anything of that nature. So he's like, he's falling in love with my other coworker, and she's engaged, and they be drinking behind each other at work, and
Falling in love.
yeah,
And see, they don't know that here's two cheaters fall in
mhm,
love with each other. They think they're gonna fall in love and trust each other. It's just insanity.
yeah, it's like
It's
what you
complete insanity.
and she, and the fact that she was a meth user,
You know how
and
much
she,
that goes on? A ton of that goes on.
yeah, but it's just shocking that you can see it. It's like, okay, now I can see the narcissists for what they are. Like
Yeah.
you can see them. It's like they get mad at you when you can see them too.
See how comfortable he was telling you about that? That just seems weird to me to tell you in a car ride home. Yeah, I cheat on my wife a couple times. I'm like, damn, how does that even come up?
Yeah, I said the same thing. It's just like with me, it's like they'll see, that's the thing. They'll confess to you the things that they do. It's like
Right.
once you, I think they like to confess to empaths,
I
like
think,
because
yeah, you're right. I was just saying, I'm listening to you. Maybe it was just you. Okay,
yeah,
I get it. I see you saying. Mm,
because I had several people confess to me things that happened at my
mm,
job. Like I had another coworker, she confessed to me that she was molested by
mm.
uh by a narcissist family member, and then it's like every day when I'd be like, "Hey, good morning, how are you?" and she'd be like, "Oh, shut the fuck up, Robert." I was like, "God damn!" But she'd be mad every morning, and then later on throughout the day she'll be calm, like, "Hey, Robert."
Hold up. Okay, you go to work
Mm-hmm.
and you said hi to her,
Mm-hmm.
and she yells back to you, "Shut the fuck up!"
Yeah.
Like serious
Yeah. Like we be sometimes serious, sometimes joking around, but
in
like
front of
she.
people.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for you to get a new job, Robert.
Oh, I
You
know.
have.
It's still my last year.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah. I ain't changed nothing. I told him I'm leaving at the end of the year,
Oh,
regardless.
okay. All right. That seems weird to me. That seems very,
No, they
that
do
seems
that
very
though. But
weird.
at warehouse jobs and like hard jobs that you gotta work like 60 hours a week, if they like detect something good about you, yeah, they'll lash out.
Wow.
I had dudes I worked with at my job. They was like, they'd be like, you don't think it's odd that you be always in here happy and smiling? Yeah,
Let
they'd
me
be
ask you
like that.
something, Robert. So how is it for you? Let's talk about you in that environment. How are you uh dealing with it?
Oh, well, me personally, I deal with it quite fine. It doesn't
Okay.
bother me because I can see them. It's like the
Okay.
more they lash out, the more you see them
No, I
upset.
mean just being in that environment I mean, so your plan is to leave it at the end of the year. That's what your plan is.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Because okay. So I just want to make sure your mental state is cool being around, death slaves, talking all that stuff every day. But just like you always said, you be in your own corner smiling. You just know how to block that stuff out.
yeah, it takes mental toughness.
Mm. Yeah. Because I couldn't do it. I'm going to let you know right now, I couldn't do it. There's no way.
I mean, I'm used to it because I went through it like when I was at Amazon for 7 years, and
Right.
I had people do the same thing. It's like at
Mm.
every warehouse job. It's like if you own your purpose, if you get things done in life, that they narcissists do not like that.
Right.
Your
I do.
energy,
I
your
do notice
energy, your energy will offend them every time.
that. Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
Especially, especially like making a mortgage payment. That's worse.
Yeah. You're right. I think it is the energy when we walk in rooms now, and that's something that I'm still coming into acceptance of. It's weird, walk into a room, people see you, and they know something's different about me when I walk into a room. They don't know
Mm-hmm.
what it is, why, what. I'm sure all kind of judgments are being made without me saying a word, but I know the reason why now. I'm in acceptance of it. And it's beautiful to be able to see narcissists so they can't. Now I know they're not going to be able to penetrate my boundaries anymore because I can see them. So, which is a beautiful thing, because I see them in business now. They be, just you could see them in emails, their responses,
Mm-hmm.
professionally, just by the way they talk. They totally forget that they're in business. It's like, you think you're at home. Okay, you must be a narcissist because you're talking like this is a buddy situation when it's
Yeah,
business. Yeah.
you can tell. It's like ways they always have a tail. They do it every time. It's like they cannot put hide their mask forever. It's like
Right.
they will show them who they are. I I
Quickly.
I say less than 2 months.
Yeah, because this is they move fast now. Everything's quick, flip, slide, swipe, you got to know in so I agree with you. Their mask will slip with I guess I probably I don't think they can last a month, honestly. I
Yeah,
don't think
I,
so.
I agree because they have a pattern when it comes to things. Like for example, they will say things that you know, like if once you get out of your cocoon,
Hmm.
they will say some things that you know you're not supposed to do to someone else.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a tell sign. Speaking of which, I was going to tell you about narcissistic parents. Like I have a friend
Hmm.
who I known since the second grade, and he was abused by
Hmm.
his narcissistic mom. So much so that she hit him with her car. This is when I was 14 years old. So she kept on abusing me. I'm talking about physical abuse.
Hmm.
Well, one day he snapped and he hit her with a TV
Hmm.
upside the head. So this has happened in Dinwiddie County, Virginia, where I used to live at, and he was my neighbor. Like,
What year was this to hit her in the TV? What year was
oh,
this?
this was 1996.
So the big TVs.
Yeah, like them box TVs,
Yes,
not the ones on the floor, but the ones you can still pick up.
correct. That's why I asked what year. Okay, wow.
Yeah,
He
and
could he could have killed her.
well, that's what Denver County Police told us. So
Oh.
they came to my house. It was my mom and my stepdad,
Hmm.
and me and my brother. We was watching wrestling on TV, and the police came and banged on the door. They was like, my stepdad. He was like, "Who the hell is it?" And he was like, "Denver County Sheriff's Department." I was like, "Oh shit!" So he opened up the door and he was like, "We looking for Robert Chavis," and he was like, "Hey, bring your ass down here." So I came downstairs. It's like, "Hey, you seen my friend?" I said, "No. What happened?" He was like, "Well, we had a police report that he violently attacked his mother,
Mm.
and they arrested him, and he had to serve like 4 years in jail."
Mm.
But yeah, when they
But
snapped,
see, but you see that, and you hear it. You see it. You hear a story like, oh, this guy bust the TV over his mama's head. Now I'm not saying that it's right. Okay, I'm not
right?
saying that it's right,
Nina,
but we don't. If we knew what his mama was doing to him, we probably have a different view of it.
yeah. See, I knew what she was doing, and so did almost everybody else in the same
Mm.
block.
Mm.
But
That's
it's just,
horrible.
but yeah, that narcissistic parents are quite evil.
See, as a kid, I didn't experience that. So as I'm going out playing with my friends, enjoying life, I'm thinking all the kids are like me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Unknowingly, right?
Right.
That I didn't know that there were kids out there with horrible parents. I didn't know that as a child. So if now you think about this as an adult, especially with this new knowledge, right? think about when you go all the way back to grade school when kids would openly tease other kids because you're a tiny kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you think about, because I never teased kids. I never did do that. That was not my thing, right? But you don't, if the kid didn't have self-esteem or didn't write clothes or they dressed a certain way or they smelled a certain way or their hair wasn't, you don't, if they're coming to school looking like that, that means their parents are not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Exactly. I
That's
mean,
horrible.
I seen some stuff with these when I was going through middle and high school, man. And see, when I started high school, around about the ninth grade, that's when all the young girls was getting pregnant by older men. That's when, like, the whole pregnancy packs thing started,
Mm.
and you had a bunch of 15-year girls was getting pregnant by these dudes, and nobody didn't know.
Adult guys.
Yes, nobody knew where they were.
Yeah. Yeah. See,
That's
and as a young man, think about this. As a young man growing up, and you're say like you're the same age as those girls having sex with adult men, you can't, as a young boy, you're not going to be doing nothing if you got with her. You know what I'm
yep.
saying? You don't know
Mm-hmm.
anything, and she knows much more than you.
Yep. That's, and like you said in your last video, how dudes be walking around with that thirsty look. She's
Yeah.
used to that,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's how it starts.
I
But
make
yeah.
sure I make sure women don't get that look from me when I'm out in public. I make sure they don't get that thirsty, hungry look from me. It's
Mm-hmm.
almost because you can see it like when you walk. Like sometimes when let's say like I'm walking in the mall or something, and you see women are walking towards me, right? I can almost see themselves prepare themselves like, okay, what is this guy going to say to me? How is he going to look at? I can feel that energy from them, so I make sure that they don't receive that kind of energy from me as I pass them, if that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. That's why I
Yeah, it
make
does.
sure of that.
Yep, it makes total sense. But yeah, but that last video you did was on point,
I
man. That
appreciate that, man. Thank you.
I watched that video 4 times. Once at work, especially, yeah, it's like, wait a minute, it's like what he's saying it's like so many good points. I had to pause and like, wait a minute, I gotta catch myself because this some huge points you made.
Yeah, when it comes to me, man, and I'm letting all the SMD family members know, like when it comes to you, when you get your download from the universe or God or whatever, right? Take the
Mm-hmm.
time to listen to it, and even if it doesn't make sense, just try it or do it or whatever it is, and then it'll 9 times out of 10 it'll make sense why you decided to do whatever you're gonna do.
And that's why I said I thank Lord, I thank God that I stayed out of trouble, man, because
Me too.
like I
Me
said,
too.
I avoided a lot of pitfalls. Even to this day, I avoided a lot of stuff. Even today when I picked up my son from my ex-wife,
Hmm.
and I went got him some clothes, got him some things that he needed, and she had my ex-wife, she had an elderly woman with her today. They came back from church,
Hmm.
and she was like, Robert, I want to say I appreciate you for being a good father to your son. We
Wow.
need more men like you in this world. I was like, well,
Wow.
thank you. Yeah, caught me off guard today.
That's beautiful. That's a
Yeah,
beautiful thing. That was your ex-wife?
yeah, and her
Wow.
friend.
Wow. Okay. That's a positive direction. Now, let's see if it keeps staying positive. Do you think
Yeah.
now when you heard, let me ask you something, Robert. When you heard it, did it sound sincere or did it sound like she was up to something or did it
No,
sound
no, it sounded genuinely sincere.
okay? All right, just
Like I
checking.
didn't, I just said thank you and I appreciate it. It won't know, I'm trying to get back with her or anything of that nature. I just appreciated it
Very nice.
and just went on by my business. And
I
then
wish,
I,
I wish I could have that with with my son's mother. That'd be nice. That'd be beautiful.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then when I was walking with him, I had it was another man. He had a kid he adopted with Down syndrome, and he came up to me. He was like, I can tell that your son loves you because you have a radiant glow about you. And we was talking about, he was telling me how if you have a kid with Down syndrome, it would teach you all the patience in the world. But
He came
he,
up to you and said that?
yeah, at Sam's Club,
Wow. Out of the blue.
out of the blue, he just saw me.
Wow.
I had my kid on my shoulders. I was holding him, and just had let him like be on top of my shoulders. I was carrying him through Sam's Club. We was talking. Me and him, we had like a 15-minute talk about that.
That's pretty that's that wow, that's amazing, honestly.
And I saw his kid, and I figured like his kid had Down syndrome because they have
Mm,
a tail, and he
yeah.
was like, "You have such a amazing glow to you. Like I can tell that you're a wonderful parent to your son." I was like,
Mm.
"I try to be every day."
Yeah, you're gonna like with this new knowledge, you're gonna be able to teach your son things that a lot of kids ain't gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna get it. But the most important thing is the love, the correct love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the funny thing. I have like now it's like different kids. Like I have a it's a this girl that I know, and she has 3 kids by 3 different men. And the youngest boy came up to me. No, I'm not dating her, but her kid came up to me, and he was like he hugged me, and he did not want to let me go.
Mm,
And
interesting.
and she was like, "Do you want to go to your daddy, or you want to be hang out with me?" She was like, the kid was like, 3 years old, said, "I want to hang out with Mr. Robert." I'm like,
Wow, that's crazy, man. You know what? Start embracing it.
I
Like
am.
you truly understand why they are. I mean, I do know why. I do know you know why, but if you know what I'm saying, that's what I'm learning to do right now. I'm just embracing it more and more and more. That's what I'm doing.
Hmm. And I took your advice seriously too about being selective about who you share this knowledge with. I'm
Good.
in, I'm embracing the idea that not everybody can walk this journey,
Correct. That
and
is
now
correct.
and not everybody can know that you can't buy a house with a mortgage.
Hmm. You know what I'm noticing lately for me? I'm noticing that the younger women are trying to talk to me.
Yeah.
The late like, and when I say young, I'm talking about like late 20s.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at them like, why are you looking at me like that?
Because
You know, I'm looking at like I'm 54. My son's older than you. Stop looking at me like that. You don't even that's like a couple generations.
yeah,
I
that's
don't
a
even get
serious.
it.
That's no, I know what it is. I know
It's
exactly
the
what it is.
energy, probably the energy.
Yeah, that's just the
Yeah,
energy, but it's the knowledge. You know
yeah.
something they don't see.
I
You
think
got
it's weird though. They just look like when I see a girl in the late 20s, I'm just like, she just looks like a baby.
mm-hmm.
Just a kid. Are you out of high school?
It's the beard.
I think it is the beard. It
You
gotta
got
be.
you're gonna have to go back shaving.
But the beard should tell them that I'm a couple generations ahead of them.
No,
That's
no, the beard is what is just what they drawn to. You got that beard, you got that. Plus, you athletic as hell. Shit,
but think
that's a
about it this way, Robert, with age combined with SMD knowledge combined, there is no way we would have anything to talk about. You see what I'm saying? What are we gonna talk about?
no. See, that's the thing. She you ain't gonna be. She gonna want you to teach it.
Hmm. Nah, that would be too scary for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Nope. I ain't doing none of that.
uh,
At that age, hey, listen, at that age, they
uh-huh.
don't even know themselves yet. They don't even know themselves yet. They
Well,
think they do, but they don't.
that's why they coming up to you. They want you to teach them that.
I ain't doing none of that. I'll be like, yeah, you got a long ways on your journey. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
get to going.
Yep.
You got to hurry up. You got to
Yep.
get going.
You 54. You don't got that much time.
I ain't got time to be doing none of that. I'm not a teacher. I'm not doing none of that. Mm-mm.
See, I'm 40. I'll be 42 in June. Yeah, I mean,
Nice.
I got some time on me, but yeah.
I don't even, you know what? I don't even look at 54. It's like this, Robert. Even though you hear me say my age, 54 obviously can look like the way you want it to look, not like the way they make it look on TV. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like you doing a walker and your belly's hanging out and all this other stuff. That's a choice.
Yes.
So when you with this knowledge that you have right now, you already know, okay, I know how I'm going to look at 54 because LJ did it. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? It's really that simple.
Exactly. Oh, one more thing. I ain't gonna keep you up too long.
Mhm.
I learned something. Guess what? You know how it's like you say capitalism is three parts: positive, negative, and psychological.
Mhm.
Guess what else it is too?
What?
Freedom.
What do you mean?
Freedom, negative freedom. Freedom is positive, negative, and psychological.
What?
Positive is that you're in the sense that you're physically free. The negative is of course slavery, forced slavery, for example. Like
Right.
being held against your will. Psychologically is accepting, like understanding the freedom that understanding the importance of keeping your freedom. For example, understanding that it's great responsibility to keep yourself free.
True. Very true. Yeah. Yeah, you got to keep yourself free. Yeah, that's true. And
Yeah.
see, an 18-year-old, you got to remember, like an 18-year-old, they don't know that they're free the day they turn 18. They're free,
Mm-hmm.
right? If their parents didn't ruin their their credit when they was a
I know,
child. But
right?
hopefully if they had the proper parents at 18 that they're free. But they need somebody there to explain that to them, what that means to be free.
Exactly.
And you got to, just like what you stated earlier, now somebody needs to teach them how to keep it
Yeah.
because life is going to try to take it away, period.
That's where you come in with that young girl. Up in
I ain't doing none of that, man. I couldn't do that. When I see dudes my age messing with like some girl in her 20s, I'm like, that's crazy to me. I just like, what? What are you doing? Besides sex, the obvious thing is sex, right? But
like when you see the older fellas going to Thailand with the young
yeah,
Thai girls, I'm like, no.
that when you see that, it's just about sex, and maybe the whole
Yeah.
thing when you see an older guy, maybe it's just about sex, whatever, right? It's not a big deal. If they got that understanding, cool. But anything outside of that, I have no idea what you could possibly be. I couldn't. What am I going to talk to a 25-year-old about? What am I going to what?
I
She's
know.
fresh. She probably fresh out of college. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm. It's crazy now. It's like all these videos I've been watching. I put them SMD goggles on. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. I started seeing different perspectives from the SMD side of the story. I'm like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me you're going all the way across the country just to talk to someone twice younger than you? Like,
All
wait a
right,
minute.
all right. It's
Like,
crazy.
oh yeah, did you see the today the IRS center in Atlanta, Georgia?
No, what?
It was a whole bunch of people lined up at the IRS agency in Atlanta, Georgia, because the IRS sent out a notice saying, if you got problems receiving your refund, like go to the headquarters today. And it's like a line all around the block to collect their income.
Where is it? Where you said in Atlanta, Georgia?
Yeah, it
Okay,
came up today.
okay, I got to check that out. No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's like a whole line of people around the whole building.
So come to the building to get your check.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, interesting.
I'm
Y'all
sure there's
collect.
going to be a video about it. I got to look it
No,
up.
yeah, it is a video. It's like I saw it all over X or Twitter, but it's definitely a video about it. I was like, wait a
Okay.
minute. Cause me understanding SMD, it's like, wait a minute. Y'all going to line up inside the heat
On TV.
on TV just to collect money that you gave a never mind.
Maybe and you never know. Maybe they did that on purpose so it could be on TV so they can count how many people would do that.
Yeah.
Maybe they
I,
want to test their power a little bit. Nah, we ain't gonna mail nothing. Come down and get it and see how many people come down and do it.
hmm I'm starting to notice, like another what you be saying, how death slaves, how if they react a certain way. I'm starting to notice that too.
Right.
Like whenever they do, all right, let's see what they gonna do. Wherever they
Yeah.
do, you do the opposite of.
Do that. Yeah, I like watching like when they come on the news and say, "Hey, we're about to do something to raise interest rates," or the Feds are doing. I just like to watch and see what the debt slaves do after the announcement. What
hmm
changes? What happens in the stock market? What happens? It's beautiful to watch just to see how it all flows when they do that.
Mm-hmm. Like how you said the cattle, you go in one gate, and if you want to go the other way, you switch the other. Yeah, switch
Switch
the
the other
other.
gate. Show is they don't. That's why everybody in the world know capitalism works the best here. We have the best. We have the most out of the whole world. We have the most amount of unconscious dead slaves in the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know nothing. Just generate money, just generating it. It's like an automatic generator. You come here, people that know come here, make your money, and you can leave.
Yep.
As long as you pay the United States all what they're owed, you come here, make the money, pay them what they said, and then you can leave.
Exactly. Like you said, it's beautiful. Like the more I watch, it's like, damn, this is some beautiful stuff.
Oh,
This
it's
is
respect. You got to respect it, Robert. Once you see how
yes.
it works, you have to respect it. You have to.
It's like I understand the 60-hour work week is a program. That's also a choice
Is
because
that
you
the new
don't.
thing now? It's 60 hours now?
Yeah, it really is 60 hours.
So it's no longer 40.
It's no longer 40.
It's 60-hour work week. Wow.
Hmm.
That's the standard.
That's the standard now, especially for Uber, Lyft, DoorDash. Oh yeah, because Walmart, they deliver on Thanksgiving.
So 60-hour work week means you working Saturdays and Sundays too.
Yeah, whichever one day they give you off. It could be like they give you Monday off and you work Tuesday up to Sunday.
One day off and it's on a Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, mm, mm. And you know the only people that accept that? Dead slaves.
Yep.
Wow. 60-hour work week. And then
Mm-hmm.
you try to maintain a relationship
Yeah.
and a marriage. And
Mm-hmm.
listen, people with 60-hour work weeks have mortgages. That's crazy.
Yep.
They're at work more than the house they're paying a mortgage on. That
Oh,
is,
I see it. I see it. Some of my coworkers, they get one of my she pays her car is $700 a month and her mortgage is $1,500 a month. Yeah.
her car knows 7?
Yeah, $752 a month.
And she told you that.
Yes. After work, I went outside. We was talking, and I went inside her car. I was just like looking at the details. Like, how much this month? She's told me $752, and then I was like, well, how much is your mortgage? 1,400 a month. I was like,
You know what you should do? You should at work. You should set up one of those false walls inside the lunchroom and set up a special area with
yeah.
lights and water and music and that's Robert's. Call it Robert's Corner. And anybody wants some information, they come up during lunch. Come around the corner. Robert, may I speak to you for a second? Yeah, come on in, sit down.
Oh no, they do that now.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, I'd be by myself. People would come up and sit with me and ask me
Well, that's
questions.
what I mean. You might as well set
Yeah,
up the whole thing.
I think I
Meditation
will.
music playing in the background.
Yep. Because I had a girl ask me questions about buying stocks and bonds, but then I asked her, does she have a mortgage? I'm like, yes, she has a mortgage. I'm like, is it a house? She's like, no, I have a mortgage on a trailer. I was like, what?
She
That,
lives in a trailer house.
yeah, out in the
Okay.
country.
Okay. No, I
And
thought you were talking about a trailer on the back of a truck or something.
oh no, no.
Oh, okay. All right.
And her student loan is older than the house, than the
Right.
trailer that she got. I
Right.
was like, baby, you can't invest in nothing. I'm sorry.
What'd she say to that when you told her that?
She was like, well, I got a plan. I was like, a plan?
He said a plan. Oh man, Robert. So you're a nice guy, the asshole. You're everybody now then.
Yeah. I'm like, a plan? Then I'm like, like you owe. Do you not see how much you owe?
No, they
It's
don't.
like, yeah, you're right. They don't.
But I figure like this. This is what I'm gonna do with this gift. I'm going to travel the world, of course.
Hmm.
And since there are going to be very few of us, I'm eventually going to need the assistance from SMD family members. And of course, you guys are going to be able to charge whatever you want to charge because there's going to be very few of us, right?
Hmm.
And we'll be able to do what we love and make lots of money from it and just
Indeed.
live the rest of our lives doing it because we know this is forever. It'll
Hmm.
always be this way, always.
Yeah, just make sure you don't get caught up in Thailand. That's the hot spot. Colombia, Thailand.
You know,
You
so
know.
crazy when you hear about Thailand, you always hear about the negative places. Like we don't
Hmm.
have negative places in the United States of America.
I
I'm
know, right?
sure there are beautiful places in Thailand that are very peaceful, and you can enjoy the part of Thailand that people like us would want to enjoy, because
Yes.
I'm sure that part we see on the videos, I'm sure that's isolated into a particular area where they keep it there, you
Hmm.
know, and people that want that kind of world, they can just go down in that area. I would just never go down in that area, period, you know,
Exactly.
hmm because
Like
that's everywhere. It's here in the United States, it's everywhere. It's not just there.
yeah, this like it's like saying that the whole state of Mississippi is bad.
Right, right.
But if I went there, I enjoyed like parts of it. It wasn't too bad.
Parts of what?
Mississippi.
Oh, okay.
And
I ain't
then
never been there yet. I ain't never been to Mississippi.
I mean it's pure country. God, it's country is God.
It
Oh,
sounds
it's
like, when I hear stuff like that, it sounds like peace, quiet.
hmm
That's what it sounds like to me. So,
Now I would tell you one of the most beautiful states that I ever seen was Montana.
really,
Montana is a beautiful state.
I drove through it, never stopped in it.
Yeah, I was in Billings one time. It's very
That's why
beautiful.
I stopped in Billings. I did stop in there.
Yeah, it's like prairie land.
Yeah,
That in Wyoming.
yeah. When you drive, you almost forget that there's a whole bunch of land out there that's uninhabited. You know what I'm saying? You almost forget.
Hmm.
When you live in the city all your life, you really think land is running out. It's like there's no places that you take a drive. You're like, oh yeah, there's plenty. There's plenty of land.
Hmm. Just like when I went to the mountains in Tennessee and Virginia, like the mount. I live in Virginia now, but
Hmm.
when I went up to the mountains, it was beautiful. The valleys, oh God, there's plenty of land.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna get on out of here.
Right, I
Trying to get
make sure.
this. Thanks for jumping up here, man. I'm trying to get this channel going and trying to figure out which direction it's going to take
Oh,
because it's
I
all new.
told you
So
once you get big, man. Whew, I told
yeah,
you
this
should
is
be.
this is this channel is going to take it. This channel is going to, grow, and then they'll see SMD later, right?
Yeah,
I think this channel is going to bring SMD up to be no bigger.
indeed.
Hmm.
I make sure that young girl don't get too attached to you now.
She don't know me. No numbers, no email, no contact of any kind. Why? There's no reason for
Make sure you don't be at the same place twice.
it. Right. Right. All right,
Uh,
sir.
have a good one.
All right. Later.
Bye bye.
All right. How do I do that? All right. Well, let me see. I'm the oldest. Let me see. I didn't see that. Okay. I'm the oldest of five siblings and last to go, no contact. Wow. And the last to go. I couldn't even imagine doing that with my parents. Wow. But I know it's a must. Don't get me wrong. I do know it's a must. Anyway, thank you everybody for joining today. If anybody's left in the room here, but there's the link if you want to say, ask me a question about you've never heard about the Sixth Sense, or uh, you want to know more about it, you can click on the link and ask me a question. You don't have to come on camera. You can just, leave the camera off like Robert did. But this is all new to me. Learning as I go. You guys are going to learn with me. You guys are going to, I'm going to be talking more about my experiences as I come into more of this new perspective of life that I have now, I'm excited to be learning about. Every day I'm learning something new. Like I said, for me, how it happens, it's almost like something coming into focus that was always there. It's really weird. It's like, but it comes into focus at the times that I'm ready for it to come into focus, if that makes sense. I don't know if anybody's ever experienced this, but for me, it seems like things come into focus right at the right times. Uh, Sometimes like come into focus, leaving the narcissist, that one came into focus, but that was a reality that needed to happen. So uh, I'm hoping that these videos will be able to help a lot of people, um, maybe help somebody that wants to, because without a doubt, I can help people. I can teach people how to reach the sixth sense without a question. I can do that, but you just have to have an open mind to believe it. Luckily, the gift that I have is that I can prove what I'm saying to you on a calculator. It's not really that difficult. And then at that point, if I show you a calculator and prove it to you and you don't believe it, that's when I walk away, because math is never wrong. If you choose not to trust math, there's nothing else I can do after that point. So, and everything is mathematics, period. So thank you, everybody. And if you catch this video later, leave a comment. Much appreciated. Help, don't be scared to leave your whatever you wanted to say or whatever, as long as it's not negative, badly. It's negative. I'm not against negative comments, but you could respectfully say something that's, I don't want to call it negative, just your opinion, whatever, right? But anyway, thank you, everybody. So until next time, see you later.